That money is the amount which is not recorded in the accounts, and with that the firm earns profit and it doesn't show it to the government. So then government is not able to trace that amount and is lack of the taxes. So now, in order to do the accounting in a very proper manner, accountants are now going into the forensic accounting where they are able to find out the minutest of the minutest crime the firm is incurring. What is accountancy? What is accounting? And why do we have to study accountancy a subject? The simple reason behind it is the financial bookkeeping. That is to record the financial transactions. All the transactions which involve money are to be recorded in the accounts. Whenever I ask what is accounting, it's a human tendency which says or which gives the thought that it is related to money. All the exchange of money, it can be in order to purchase the goods or services, either you can sell the goods or services in exchange of money, are all recorded in the accountancy. And it is quite obvious also, the main work of accounts or the accountant is to record all the transactions which are to be done in the business. Now, but accounts is not only restricted to record keeping or the recording of financial transactions. It also has so many areas where which accountant or the accounting is helpful. Now, we will see in this class that what are those areas and what are the essential importance of accounting. The first basic thing is the financial record keeping. In accounting, we obviously record the financial transactions, all the transactions which are related to money. That is, all the transactions which involve any of the money related transactions. That is, all the monetary transactions are to be recorded. Now the question arises, why do we have to record the monetary transactions? Look, what happens whenever a person starts a business is started with an aim to earn profits. If we want to earn profit, we will have to start business, and for that we will have to do transactions, the purchase or the sale of the goods. So while purchasing the goods and while selling the goods, we exchange money. So if we have purchased an item for rupees say 10 and if we are selling it for rupees 12, so now the difference we have earned, that is your profit, that is rupees 2. So accountancy's main work is to record the financial transactions. Financial means all the transactions relating to finances. Finances, that is monetary, which involve money. Now, so these all transactions, for example, if I own a business, I might have the employees. I also will have the fans working for me, the tube lights. The expenses on a daily basis are to be recorded. Like we pay salary. Apart from that, we also pay the electricity bill. These are all the expenses we have to do on a daily basis. So these are all the transactions which are to be recorded. Or else, without recording transactions, we will not be able to get the accurate and exact profit. So this was the first basic meaning, first basic thing, why do we have to do the accountancy. Next comes is the organization and society. This is to be done for the full organization, because in an organization there are so many employees working. So all of them are very eager to see if the company is working good or not, if the company's performance is good or not, because then only their salaries will be decided, then only their bonuses will be decided, and then only the amount of salary will be increased. So the organization as a whole, the manager also has to look the profits, or else if the company is incurring losses, then he will be liable to the owners. The owners will directly question the managers, why is it like that? The company is not earning profit. What is happening? Just delve into the decision making. Just check it out what's going on. So organization as a whole also looks at the financial transactions, the financial monetary things in order to get the profits. Now, the question arises, why is there a need for the society to look at the transactions? Look, what happens from society only, we get the employees to work. Now, if we want the employees, the good employees, obviously they will also see the organization's growth and the profits. Apart from that, we also purchase the raw materials. The raw materials can be bought by another company as well, but they will also see, is the company doing good with the raw material or not? Is there any production activity going on in actual or not going on? So we are liable to give the answer to organization and the society. Apart from that, government is also the main person who sees our financial records. Why? Because the amount of profit we earn out of the business we do, the government needs taxes from that. With the taxes, government will implement so many of the infrastructure projects which will another help our country to grow and flourish. So this was the basic need of accountancy in an organization and the society. Next need is of decision making. For example, let's see an example. There is a manager who wants to take decision of the future, like in the next quarter or in the next month, what are things are to be implemented in order to firm can get profits. So now the manager, when he wants to take the decision, he will have to choose from this one or the next best alternative. So the manager always has a plan A and also has a plan B. Might be possible the plan A is very good, but it lacks some of the things. The plan B is not good, but it is environmentally friendly. So each and everything can be calculated and can be ascertained in decision B. So the manager will take decision according to the recording of transactions we have done. Because with the recording, we will be able to see, is the company in profits, is the company earning profits or not. Was the decision which was taken earlier is good for the company or not good for the company? These all things are to be dealt in the decision making. So this was the third one which helps in the accountancy, also helps in the decision making for the future aspects. Next is basically the forensic accounting. This is the very new type of accounting because there are so many frauds going on. There are so many accounting frauds. Many of the share markets, many of the companies are doing so much fraud that the people who are investing in the share market are losing their money day by day. So, forensic accounting is to deal with the crimes which a company is committing. The crimes which are deliberately committed by the company in order to earn more money, in order to earn more black money to be precise. So basically, black money is the amount which is not recorded in the accounts, and with that, the firm earns profit and it doesn't show it to the government. So then government is not able to trace that amount and is lack of the taxes. So now, in order to do the accounting in a very proper manner, accountants are now going into the forensic accounting where they are able to find out the minutest of the minutest crime the firm is incurring. So this was the main basic work of accounting as well, the forensic accounting. Because nowadays evidences are very much, the companies are so much advanced in nature, the owners are so much in advance that they are not even leaving the evidences to find where has the accounting been wrong. So now the forensic accounting is helping out each and every smallest of the particles to check whether the company is doing good or bad. Next is the e-commerce. Nowadays, earlier what used to happen? If you want to buy goods, you will go to the local market, you will go to the shopping mall, you will straight away go to the shopkeeper and you will ask or demand the goods and the services you require. And you will see that, you will feel that product and you will buy the same by paying the cash. Nowadays, what's happening that we want, the luxurious life. We don't want to step out of the houses to buy the goods or services. We want the goods to be delivered to our homes directly. For this, What's happening? There is a concept of e-commerce. E-commerce is simply basically the internet commerce, that where we buy the goods through internet, through websites. Like we have a website called Amazon, where we can shop for all the products and goods which we require. Apart from that, we also have the Swiggy, which delivers the food directly to our houses. So these are the online platforms from where we can buy the goods by simply paying the amount online. So while doing the online transaction also, there are so many hackers sitting out there who want just an information from our card so that they can steal our money, they can steal our data. So in order to minimize that and in order to smoothen the transactions in the e-commerce, so there is a need of e-commerce accounting. So now accountants are basically delving into the e-commerce accounting as well, where they are, they are doing their best out of to make the each and every transaction look so smooth as if there is no difficulty only. So there are many types of e-commerce. It can be the B2B transactions. B2B transactions is basically business to business. For example, there is a hotel industry. Hotel industries, when we check in to the hotel room, we can see the small packets, the small sachets of shampoos, of liquid soap. So all these are the products which a business, that is the hotel industry, is buying from the other business. Okay, so that is known as the B2B business. Next is the B2C business. B2C simply means when a business sells the product directly to the customers. For example, if we want to buy a car, we will go to the showroom. We'll buy the car directly from the showroom. That is B2C. If a showroom owner wants to buy a car from the factory, that is a B2B business. So these type of transactions are also being run on the online platforms. So while doing online transactions, one should be very much cautious, and apart from that, the accounting also needs to be very much accurate and quick, because at a single second, there are so many customers who are there online sitting just to buy the goods. So there is a high chance of mishappening, mismatching of the amount and the product and the customers. So in order to grab that, in order to minimize the risk, the accountants are now so much smart that they are simply doing their work in the e-commerce industry. So this was the basic needs for e-commerce. Next, we come to the financial planning. Obviously, every businessman needs money in order to run its business. The amount of money needed by the business in the near future, is decided by the financial planning. For example, let's say a business has purchased a machinery. It purchased a machinery on 1st April 2020. And suppose say today is 1st April 2024. Now, it has been 4 years that the company is using the same machinery. Now, the company wants to buy a new machinery, which will require a lots of money to be spent on just buying that machinery and installing the same. For this only, we require the financial planning, the amount which we have to keep aside for the future wants and needs for the organization, the amount of finance we require to purchase the goods in future or else in the near future. These all are to be dealt and are seen in the accounting only. In accounting, we can see the money flow, the amount of money which is flowing inward and the amount of money which is going out for buying goods and services or paying expenses. So just to curb that, just to hold on that, we require the proper financial planning so that our business organization can run smoothly. So these all are done by the accounting only. Next is the environmental accounting. This is the need of the hour. This is the utmost important topic which is going on in recent times, because there are so many industries which are polluting our environment like nothing. They are just producing goods, and they are emitting lots of pollution, they are emitting lots of carbon dioxide, which is harming our environment. So now there is a new tax, that is carbon tax, where the companies will have to pay extra amount of tax if their industry, if their factory is emitting a lots of carbon emissions. So for this only, the accountants are now ready to do the environment accounting, in which we will be using the renewable resources, like we can use the solar. The solar panels can be used in order to get the electricity. We should reduce the use of the biofuel. We should reduce the use of fuel. We should go on to the biofuel. We can also go on to the nuclear, and we can also go for the wind power as well, which will reduce the emission of carbons and which will, which will help in maintaining the environment, the greenery of the environment. We can see with the use of windmills, there is so much greenery, and with the use of normal fossil fuels, the diesel, the petrol, the coal, there is so much of, no greenery out there. So environmental accounting is also the utmost important part nowadays, which is helping the countries, which is helping the companies to grow further and to produce more goods with the natural resources. Okay, next is the data collection. Earlier, the data collection was not that much important, but nowadays data collection is very much important. How come? Let's take an example. There is a person A who usually buys the home products from, suppose, say, D-Mart. Now, since he is buying the products from D-Mart, so there is a data. We want the data that how much amount he spends in a month on average, with which we can calculate the future incomes. We can calculate the future incomes regarding that person and the number, the group of persons. The data which we collect, for example, in 2022, the company made incomes of, say, rupees 5 lakhs. Now, in 2023, the company made an income of rupees, say, 8 lakh rupees. Now, with the data, we can check or we can see what was the expenditures which were done in the 2022 and what were the expenditures which were done in 2023. How can we eliminate that expenses? How can we reduce that expenses? And how can we increase the incomes out of the transactions we are doing on a daily basis? These all require the data. So data needs to be collected by the accountant or by the firm in order to check the future availability of the finances and the future of the organization, if the organization will be in profits or will be in losses. So this was the main aim for the data collection and the accounting part. Next, the last is the communication. We do the accounting work in order to communicate it to the society, as we have already seen. We are liable to the society where we are working. Next, we are also liable to give the information to the government, because government, if will get the information from us, it will be benefited for them, as they will be able to take, calculate the taxes which we are going to pay to them. Next, apart from that, employees are also very eager to see the progress of the company, the progress of the organization, the amount of profit a firm is earning. Apart from that, employees, there are the main who are the owners. Owners or the shareholders or the stakeholders are also in a need to see the financial records so that they can see if the company is working good or not. Apart from that, as we already saw, the managers. The managers also needs the data to be seen in order to check if the company is doing good or not, and to take the financial decision for the future. That what all steps a company needs which can increase the profits, which can increase the growth. Because there might be many of the decisions which the firm had taken in the previous year or in the past which resulted in a low profit or the losses. So in order to make it smooth, make it easy, so managers also need the accounting data, the accountancy part, the transactions to be recorded, to be seen in order to take the good type of decision. So this was the communication part, which is altogether very much important. Now let's just brief out. So we studied the financial record keeping. The main aim is to record the financial transactions. The second was it is for the organization and society both. How come society and organization? Because organization has the employees which we take from society itself. So everyone wants to know the good and the bad of the company. Next was the decision making. It helps him to decide whether which step has to be taken in future so that we can earn more profits. Next was the forensic accounting, which is a very much new and which requires a lot of expertise, where accountants are doing very much high thing. Next is the e-commerce. E-commerce is basically the online shopping portal where there are so many customers who are buying at the same time. For the accuracy of that, we need accountancy. Next is the financial planning. Financial planning for the future. Next is the environmental accounting, which again is giving birth to carbon footprints. Next is the data collection, the amount of data we collect, which can be helpful in future aspects in deciding future goals and aims. Next, last one is the communication. In order to communicate the financial transactions, we need to do the proper accounting work. So this was the topic for today.